Alrighty, hey everybody. So today we're going to be talking about my job and talk about what how data analytics is super helpful for Polymer Shapes LLC. So my name is Seth Grant Nobbs Wolf, and today I'm presenting my final project on plastic sales and how my company uses data visual analytics to help us succeed in the long run, and that is what we are going to get into today. So, what is Polymer Shapes? Um, Polymer Shapes is a plastics manufacturing company. We are a distribution center and we are a manufacturing center. So, we have machines like a CNC router and a CN saw, which this helps us be able to cut plastic and route designs in plastic and get bigger contracts with bigger companies who need our supplies, and it helps us make more revenue in the long run. So what do we sell? So we sell 4x8 sheets. That is our main form of size. It's just like a 4x8 sheet of plywood, except it's plastic and it's made of lots of different materials such as UHWMD, playground, acrylic, plexiglass, bulletproof, plastic, different grades of nylon. I really found this job very interesting. I've just stepped into it a few weeks ago, and so I'm still learning a lot. But I decided, what better opportunity than to take a look at my own company and see how we're doing from a sales perspective and see how to improve and see and solve a couple problems and kind of figure out some things using Tableau and data analytics. So, our problems. Who's our most profitable vendor? What product is taking up the most space? How much is that product? What is the total cost of our entire warehouse currently? So we are going to solve these. The data that we are using today, I got from my manager specifically, and he did not include customer names, only vendor names, which is public knowledge, so that we are able to take a look at our vendors and things of that nature. And I asked for permission, so we are good to go. So the Tableau skills that I would like to show today that I've learned is basic data comprehension, data modeling, dashboarding, filtering, and proportional brushing. So without further ado, let's pull up. So this is our Excel file, and I just wanted to show this just because I thought it'd be very interesting to go ahead and kind of show everybody the data and kind of what we were dealing with. We have all of our names up top here, and then we have the information that follows. So let's get to our Tableau. Boom, spoiler. Who is Polymer Shapes' biggest vendor? So Mitsubishi Chemical is our biggest vendor, and they buy the most product from us, as you can see here. So before we do get to any of that, let's go to our data source. And so if we look here, we have our item code, item descriptions, a lot of our data. I didn't have to change any quantity quality values, which made it very nice, but I did have to change the name of each single one, like total cost, quantity, vendor name. The Excel just didn't come in properly, and so that was a little bit of a struggle, but it really was not too bad. So let's talk about what I did here. So I took our vendor names, I put them in the column, and our item description, I also put them in the column. So we have our vendor names up top and our item description down below. And then each graph represents the item cost, so what each vendor paid for that specific item. So for example, we have UHMW, we have a sheet, 2-inch thick sheet, 48 inches by 120, and Mitsubishi paid $3,504 for that sheet and for that amount of plastic. Sorry. So this was very easy to see who our biggest vendor is using the bar chart and to just see, how it's broken down. A lot of our smaller vendors are in here, like Coroplast and Distributor Service, who don't buy as much, but they were still important to include in the information here. So that is our first question knocked off, and I already used a couple of different techniques here. I used a filter to get rid of the null values here, and so what I did here was I went to data source, and then I added filters, edit, add filter, and there we go. So up next, we want to know what the most expensive thing in our inventory is. We want to know our total inventory value currently. So that was able to be done in the same sheet. And so what I was able to do was, once again, put my measure names in my columns and the item description in my rows. So I was able to use analysis, go to totals, and then column totals to the top, so that way I can see the total of everything right up here. So that's my total inventory value, and then this is my most expensive product, UHMW 1-inch 1.5 black, and so we currently have $28,000 worth of that product right now. So that is something we really need to get rid of by the end of the year, because we don't want to hold on to that much product. I've heard of a couple warehouses holding more than $250,000 worth of product and not making any money that year, which is super frustrating for them, because you always want to make money and at the end of the year, because it helps the bonus and things of that nature. So up next we have, I believe, for our next problem, so we have pricing, and so for pricing, I wanted to price out everything in our warehouse. Sorry, made a little mistake here. Inventory, this is just how much inventory we have, our quantity, sorry, not the price. The total price is $56,000. And so what I did there as well was able to put, so our rows is our product code, and our column is our item cost. So I went ahead and put that in the color, and then we use the very pretty highlight tables. I like how simple it looks, I like how clean it looks. And I was also enabling analysis, and then use my totals to put the sum of the totals to the top as well. So next up we have my dashboard, and this was really fun to make. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed when we did the dashboarding part. And so what you do to make a dashboard is you go over to dashboard, and you take your sheets that you already created and you drag and drop, and it's very simple, very effective as well, in my opinion. So I added, essentially I added pricing, inventory, and vendors and product here, because I think they all coincide very, very well and are a very big key to our success here. So once again, using the dashboard helps me lay out all my information, helps me visualize it very well, and it helps me go forward into my last and final skill that I'm going to use, which is proportional filtering, or proportional brushing, sorry, excuse me. That is a very interesting point that Dr. Pan made earlier this year. There's actually another name for filtering, but it's only filtering in a dashboard. It's when one, yes. So back to my dashboard. I really like this one because if you want to look for a specific product on here in our item description, you're able to select the item, and then it will highlight on the chart. And I really like that, because if you are looking for an item that gets bought a lot or does not get bought a lot, you can take a look at this, which is super cool. So that has been my presentation, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good one.